my channel. I am your host Masanali and you are watching Global Scope News. Today we have an important topic to discuss. We are going to talk about the serious situation happening right now in northern Gaza. This conflict is causing a lot of fear and suffering for many people. And it's very crucial that we understand that is happening. We will look at what the Israel military is doing and how this affects the lives of ordinary people who just want to live in peace. So grab a seat and let's dive into the detail of the important topic. This situation in northern Gaza. What you need to know in the past few weeks, things have gotten very intense in northern Gaza. The Israeli military has increased its activities and this has led to heavy fighting and bombing. Life has become very difficult for the people living in this area. Many families are scared and confused. The military has issued orders telling people to leave their homes and move south to a safer place. They sent messages through social media and other means, warning that they would start military operations that could lead to airstrikes and ground attacks. This means is it too dangerous for people to stay where they are? The Israeli Defense Force have declared that an area known as D5 is now a combat zone. This is a serious warning and they are telling everyone to evacuate and go south using the main route called Salah al-Din Road. This road is important because it runs all the way from the northern to the south of Gaza. The RDF even released a map showing a yellow arrow pointing south, telling people where to go. They have made it very clear that military actions will continue for a long period of time, which means it's not safe to stay in northern Gaza. But there is the problem. Following this escalation order is not easy for many people. A lot of families are afraid to leave their homes. They worry that if they go south, they may not be allowed to return to their homes. Hamas, which is the group in charge of Gaza, has also been telling people that the south is just as dangerous. With so much confusion and fear in the air, many people don't know what to do. Reports indicate that 400,000 residents are still living in northern Gaza, even after the evacuation order was given. Many families have different reasons for choosing to stay. Some want to be close to elderly or sick family members who cannot travel. Others are worried that if they try to leave, they might be targeted by military forces. It's very important to remember that just because someone may have connections to Hamas does not mean they are a fighter or involved in the conflict. Many people are simply trying to survive in a very challenging and dangerous environment. In these difficult times, civilians have come up with various ways to cope with the situation. Some families are temporarily moving to other neighborhoods in hopes of escaping the fighting. They are hoping to return home once it's safer. Just for example, a family might decide to leave a dangerous area in Jabalia to find shelter in Gaza City and plan to come back later. However, the IDF is making this very difficult. They are insisting that families should move only south, which limits their options and adds to their stress. Since the start of these military operations, the situation for families in northern Gaza has become dire. Many people are living in fear and confusion, and the cause is overwhelming. Journalists who are on the ground are reporting on these struggles, capturing the the heart-wrenching stories of people who are scared and desperate. One journalist spoke to a woman named Manal al-Balah who was trying to escape from Jabalia with her small child. She described her panic, saying, "They told us we had 5 minutes to leave. Where do we go?" In southern Gaza, there are assassinations in western Gaza. They are shelling people. God is our only chance. As civilians attempt to file to save, face many dangers along the way. One of the biggest fears in the risk of being attacked by the IDF. The military says they have rules to protect civilians, but there are many reports from humanitarian organizations claiming that civilians are being targeted. This raises serious concerns about the safety of families who are trying to escape the violence. People are left wondering who they can trust and where they can go to find safety. The hospitals in northern Gaza are also struggling under these difficult conditions. They are running low on essential supplies such as fuel or generators that keep important medical equipment working. Some hospitals have even been bombed, making it impossible for them to care for patients. The situation has become dire, and the United Nations, along with other organizations, has warned that the ongoing fighting is worsening an already bad humanitarian crisis. One crucial part of Israel's military strategy seems to be related to what is called the General's Plan. This plan was developed by retired Israeli military leaders and aims to force Hamas to surrender. The idea is to put so much pressure on the civilian population in northern Gaza that Hamas has no choice but to give up, according to Major General retired Deir. The plan involves ordering civilians to leave certain areas in order to create so-called safe zones. Once these areas are empty, the military can treat the remaining places as a combat zone. This means that the people who stay behind would be under siege, facing several limits on food, water, and medical care. Eland believes that this strategy would make life so difficult for Hamas that they would have to surrender and possible even release hostages. The World Food Programme has reported that many families in Gaza are facing a severe lack of food. Since the beginning on October, vital supply routes have been cut off, making it hard for people to get even basic items like bread. Bakeries, bakeries are shutting down because they cannot operate safely under the current condition, leaving families without essential food. While it's unclear if the IDF is fully following the General's plan, there are signs that some parts of it can be seen in their military actions. This situation remains very dangerous, with many lives at risk. The Israeli government is becoming frustrated that the conflict is lasting so long without clear results. Many people are asking how much longer this will go on and what the end will look like. On a political level, some leaders in Prime Minister Netanyahu government have suggested replacing the Palestinian residents in northern Gaza with Jewish settlers. This idea increases fear of displacements among the local population. Finance Minister Bezalel has openly stated that he wants to occupy Gaza completely, believing that without settlements there can be no security for Israel. This talk is alarming to many people and adds to the worries of those living in the area. As the conflict continues, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza depends day by day. Many families are struggling to find food, water, and safety. The situation is critical, with urgent questions about what the future holds for the residents of Gaza and the long-term consequences of current military actions. Every day, the people of Gaza face new challenges that make their lives harder. The ongoing violence raises concerns not just for the immediate future but also for the broader implications of these strategies. How will this affect the relationship between Israelis and Palestinians moving forward? What happens to those who have lost their homes and loved ones? It's a really question mark. This international community is watching very closely, and there are calls for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. People around the world are hoping for an end to the violence and for a time when everyone can live together peacefully. That's all for today. Thank you for joining me on Global Scope News. I hope this detailed look into the situation in northern Gaza helps you to understand the many challenges faced by ordinary people. It's vital to stay informed and aware of what's happening around the world. Please remember to subscribe for more updates and analysis on important issues like this. Stay safe, stay informed, and take care of each other. Together, we can work towards a future filled with peace and understanding. Until the next video, take care.